Okay, good morning. So for our first activity, which will be entitled the basic map preparation. So our output will be somewhat a map looking like this. So a map of Caraga region with this shapefile and the following elements. So you can download the datasets in my Google Drive by simply clicking on this link. So to start, we have to open our QGIS project. So at first, if you have no project yet done in the past, so this will be a blank space. So to start, you have to click this icon, which is the create new project. Right, this one. So going back to our LMS, you can also check the video tutorial on the following link. However, I have to update this one because the tutorial was somewhat outdated, which is last year. And you can submit the output in the submission link with the due date on February 9, 2024. So far, there were already 21 out of 89 who have submitted this first exercise. For those who are still struggling, you can find this. I think this video helpful. So again, going back to our QGIS project, the first step is you have to save your project. Save the project and save it with a file name of XR1. XR1 with your family name and save it to your designated folder, which is basic map preparation and an output. So before that, you have to create an outputs folder to where you have downloaded the data. So in your outputs folder, you save this one as your QGIS project. Next step is you have to set the projection, the CRS or the coordinate reference system of this file by clicking project and then properties, then going into the CRS and select this one, UTM zone 51N. So this is the 51N zone of the Philippines. But if you have no CRS yet here, you can simply type 51N and search here in the predefined coordinate reference system. Select WGS 84 UTM zone 51N. So for me, since I already have opened this one, these coordinate systems appear on the recently used coordinate system. But if this is your first time, so nothing will appear in here. So you have to search for the reference system within this box. And then click apply. Okay. So if you notice, the coordinate system is changed into meters. So let's load our first shapefile in using Open Data Source Manager. And click for the vector and tab. Since our shapefile is a vector file, we search browse and search where we have saved. We have saved our data sets. This is exercise 1. The data. We'll have here the provincial boundary and select the shapefile, the one with the biggest file size. Click this one, open, we add, and then once it's added, you can close the dialog box. So a shapefile of the Caraga region appears here on our canvas. So if you notice, it is only composed of a single color or single symbol. So our desire is to create a map which can be similar to this, as shown in our LMS. This is our LMS, but I have um, to view the whole image so that it can be seen clearly. So this is the whole zoom out image of our output. So if you notice, the shapefile is composed of several colors, mm, using category of the provincial name. So first thing to do, going back to our QGIS window, is to change the symbology of this province. So you can do by using this open the layer styling panel, or you can double click and the properties will appear, or you can right click and select properties. So whichever you prefer, it depends upon your preference on what side you gusto, but it will give you the same results. So click on the symbology, and in the simple field, before that, you have to click here, single symbol into categorized. So that means to say we have to categorize our symbology based on the following value. The value that we have to select will be the provincial name. For that, we can click classify, and we will notice that all the provinces in Caraga region are enumerated or listed here. And there's a shapefile or a field that's, I think, composed of all other values. So we have to delete this one. So what remains will be the, the values containing all of the provinces. You can click apply, and you see changes were already applied. We can also add the labels. So start, there are no labels. You click this one and select single labels. Then select the value which we wanted to appear on this one, our canvas. Using down drop arrow, you can select the code or the name. So in this case, we select the name of the province. We can modify our label by putting a buffer so that it can be clearly seen whatever the background is. You can also change the size of the text. I'm changing the size. We can also change the font. For example, I will select an Arial Narrow, which is one of those favorite fonts. Click apply, and changes are already applied. There you go. Next step is going back to our map. So I think our map is now ready. But before that, you can also change the color if you don't like this color. For example, color blue, which usually signifies water bodies. So you can change this one by clicking on this icon. Double click, and whichever you can select the color. So, oops. I think I would prefer somewhat yellow, which is not here. No? So, okay. So yellow is now already applied. So there you go. Our map is already ready. We can add a base map similar as this one. This is a base map from the OpenStreetMap. So to do that, make sure you have an internet connection so that we can download the data. Click View. So this one, this OpenStreetMap can be added using the browser panel. For example, if you open your QGIS without having this browser panel, so I will have to close this one. You click on the view, then the panels, and search for enable the browser panel. So the browser appears. And to add the base map, search for the XYZ tiles. So this is the XYZ tiles. You have to expand that one and search for whatever pixel we desire. But for our exercise, we will use this open street map. Simply double click or drag it one and drag this one into the frame so that it can be added there. We can close this one. Sometimes this layer appears before the panel, such that your provincial boundaries are hidden at the back of the OpenStreetMap. You can simply click and drag the OpenStreetMap on the bottom. So this is a Z arrangement, meaning to say the one that appears on the top of the list of the layers appears on the top of the canvas, right? Okay, there you go. Since our map is now ready, we can now have a layout similar as this one. Although you can lay out manually by using this print new layout, type anything. So you can do your layout, you can add the map. But for this exercise, I will teach you how to load a layout which is already embedded in our plugins. So make sure again you have an internet connection. In the plugins menu, you click plugin and manage and install plugin. Wait until it finishes downloading some of the plugins from its repository. Once done, a dialog box will appear containing all of the so far plugins that is available under the QGIS 3.18. In the search box, click in the all, then in the search box, click, search for layout loader. Okay, so here is the layout loader. Click this one and install the plugin. Since I already have installed the plugin, so I do not need to reinstall it. Simply close this one and search for this icon. So close this one. Sometimes after closing, your icon will appear in either way of your toolbars. So you have to search that one. Once you find it, you can click and drag it somewhere it's accessible. So here, I have placed my layout loader. Click, and a dialog box will appear. At first, this is a blank space. There are no layout template available. So to have a list of the templates, you can simply click add more. Click yes, and this will appear. The list of the templates available under QGIS will appear here. Okay, for this exercise, we will use the standard A4 portrait. Click OK, and it will direct us into a new window containing the map that we created in our QGIS window. So if you see, the scale is only 1:50,000, which is quite a large scale compared to the map we did in QGIS, which is a small scale map. First thing we have to do is to change the scale. Clicking on the map, it will give us its property and the scales. As you can see, it's 50,000. So to change this one, we have to click the the expression here on the side. Current is 50,000. We will edit it into 1.8 million. Actually, you can try any scale of your design as long as the map of Caraga region fits well on the frame. But in this case, I tried and I find 1,800 is quite suitable. So click OK, and let's see the map changes, and updates. So it looks a little black because the grids are quite smaller. We have decreased its scale, and therefore the interval of the grids becomes smaller also. So to check this one, we have here the grids. We can delete some there. It's already deleted, or we can delete everything to start a new grid. So click plus to add a new grid. Click the grid one and modify the grids. In the grid type, you can use solid or whatever, but we will use markers for this exercise. And the marker type will be, we will change it into plus. That's one. Okay, it's already a plus. And the CRS, we have to use the map CRS, which is the zone 51N, which it's graduated into meters. So since this is a big area, we will start with 100,000 interval for the X and 100,000 interval for the Y. So you can see the markers appeared already, and it's quite, although it's centered already, but we can adjust this one so that our markers will really be in the center of our frame. So to adjust this one, click this move item content and drag them up so that it can be centered in your view. So once it's centered, we can now go down to add a frame. We can either select a zebra or interior ticks or an exterior tick, whatever. So for this exercise, I will use an interior tick with then we will have to go the coordinates. It's a decimal. And we notice that on the left and the right side, the the labels are the coordinates are in horizontal form. So we have to change this one into vertical ascending on the left and vertical descending on the right. We can also decrease the number of zeros by lowering the coordinate position into 0. Okay, that's okay. There. We can now lock them up. Going back upward, we can now lock them up so that whatever we do in our PJS, the map we did here, we prepared in here will not be affected. Okay, click refresh. Next is we have to change this one. Vanilla. Change this one. This Lauren Ipsum. You can change it by adding your name. Prepared by Roger Sarmiento. Sarmiento. FRM 149. JL Spatial Methods in Forestry. And with center, spin on the frame. Or you can also do it on the right, whatever you prefer. Okay, so it's okay. Next is we add an arrow here. We add a north arrow, click and drag, and position the arrow to where you decide. Oops, think I'm logging. Then what's next is change the title. This one. So if you're clicking, you can change the title here as map of Caraga Ninja. And what's next? I think our map is already similar to what we have shown earlier. So final step is to save our map by clicking this one, export as image, then save it to our output. Standard A4 portrait exercise one experimental. Okay, save. As this should be as a JPEG. Save. Okay, that's it. Leave it as is. Okay, and wait until it's done. We can now change. We can now close the map we did as our model. So QGIS is now saving our map. Then there, export layout successfully imported. So we can check our map. The one we have created. Double click. Okay, so our map is already done. We can now submit this as an attachment to our LMS here. Hands-on exercise one, submission. Okay, so questions. If you have questions, you can visit me in my office. If you cannot submit it because the file is too large, you can check that the size is only 783 and the LMS can accept up to 5 MB. So make sure that the format is in JPEG or an image format. So I think that's all for this exercise. Thank you and see you on our next exercise. Okay, thank you. Okay, stop recording. Stop sharing. And meeting.